Alright, draft physics presentation and such. So there's a few more comments that I didn't get to. The people who can't make reasonable comments and all they could do is write crap. And I've explained before, I don't really have an obligation to do that. I will argue with anybody in a live room if all I have to do is have a working microphone at minimum, and you know, just preface your encounter with your evidence. All right, so I can look over your evidence, and then you can defend your argument. You'll have to answer my questions for a change. So when I point something out in a video, and you never respond to any of the things I point out, how the evidence is really weak, and only an imbecile would think this is good enough evidence to draw conclusions, you'll have to respond to that with some sort of answer instead of just evading all of the points I have made in all of these videos about all the flaws and all the assumptions, and you don't deal with any of that shit. And then you just post comments claiming that you somehow have already argued something that you haven't argued, you haven't explained, you haven't done any of the crap you claim you've done. And I'm supposed to leave that comment there saying that somehow you've already counter-argued and you've already proven a case. You haven't done any such fucking thing. So, fuck you. Okay? I'm not playing by your rules. If you can't do it in a civil manner, if you can't post a civil, decent, respectful comment in opposition to something I say without your ad hominems and your insanely undocumented claims, then fuck you. Because I'm not going to sit there and undo your lies all the time. That's not my job here, is to prove I don't beat my wife. Fuck you. Your job is to make a rational response to the arguments I've made. And these aren't rational responses. So you're going to get blocked for those. I mean, at first your comment gets deleted. And then when you do it again, it gets deleted. And when you keep doing it, then you get blocked. The end. Fuck you. Fuck you too. Anyway, what the hell is all that shit? View it. I've been watching your videos quite, well, I don't know what the hell that is, but a lot of crap. Anyway, I hate notifications. And, I mean, it's probably a good idea for some things, probably helpful. I just don't like that Google's doing it, and I never let them do it. I never said do that. Anyway, so nacho sauce. Well, I hate to break it into you. Into you? No, to you. Yeah. Well, should make the type larger. Maybe I'll do that. Do what you should do. Okay, yeah, I'll do what I should do. Well, I hate to break it to you, draft, but magnetism and its effects has always had a rational, working presence in our current reality. So that's news to me somehow? I mean, frankly, magnetism was completely irrelevant for most of human history, and and then there was a little bit used for navigation for a little short period, but really hasn't done shit for until the last 100 years, really, in any noticeable way. So that should be corrected before Ken should even take you seriously. What should be corrected? I mean, how could this make any sense? And then he posts a link to some joke video where, I don't know, somebody's being a dumb person or something. So why shouldn't I just say fuck that? I mean, fuck assholes who can't do better than this. I mean, it's just a waste of my time. To even read that was a waste of my time. And then the Willie Gelfield. Willie. Total misnomer. He has no Willie. Look in my eyes. What do you see? I know your anger. I know your dreams. So where's this going? I've been everything you want to be. Like Mussolini and Kennedy. Neon lights. The Nobel Prize. When a miner speaks, the reflection lies. So this is supposed to be something I should waste my time with. You don't have to follow me. Only you can set me free. I'll sell you things you need to be. I'm the smiling face on your TV. I exploit you, yet you still love me. I tell you 1 + 1 = 3. I'm the cult of personality. How the fuck should why should anyone say, okay, they're entitled to that? Somebody should be able to stand up anywhere, right in the middle of whatever, the Pledge of Allegiance, and start reading that poem. It's just such a brilliant piece of something. No, it's a pile of shit. On this pepperoni or pepperonkaki, whatever it is. It's always been, it's already, so this is the comment, no, this is bullshit. It's already been explained that by the time the rays get to the telescope, they will be almost parallel. So your talk about image quality is null. So, I mean, this is just such inane, insensible crap. Obviously, you can't create something that creates more light. You know, makes a thing look brighter. You can't make something look brighter with parallel rays. Parallel rays make something look less bright. That's what the sun's doing. The sun is only sending us photons that are essentially in parallel, because only one photon from out of billions of the photons from any one area is being sent in this direction. So the sun looks small, you know, even though it's a big, huge thing, because we're only seeing a tiny percentage of the rays from the sun. And so when they get here, you know, traveling that 7 minutes at the speed of light, that rather long distance, you know, they're semi-parallel, because they haven't been, the sun wasn't made larger and then the rays came in. It's the smallest we've seen. We're doing the smallest arc possible. If you're going to make the sun look brighter, it means you have to collect more. Lenses capture more photons. And to capture more photons, that means you have to catch the ones that weren't going anywhere near your eyes. You have to catch the ones that are diverging dramatically. And so it's just crap to bring up this stupid parallel argument, because it has nothing to do with the fundamental function or how lensing even works. It's just complete shit. So again, I drew the picture, so I'll draw it again, and you know, make the point that, okay, you have an object of a specific size in its reality. Okay, it has a real size, and then the further away it is from you, the smaller it will appear. Okay, but the appearance doesn't change the size that it is. But the point is in a lensing circumstance, you have something usually of a bigger size than the thing you're lensing, and on top of that, okay, you're seeing it over a larger area. So the idea is that there's gravity, you know, this thing here, and we'll make them round just for the sake of the argument. You can almost see that. So the idea is that this small object, the light rays will be spread. So essentially what you're doing is you're taking a small object and making it bigger. So you're taking a small object and you're taking, this is the only light you would see, and now instead you're going to see all of this light, because you're going to put a lens in here that's going to now bring all of this extra light into view. So back at the example, so this would be happening on both sides, presumably, if it's directly in behind the original source. So you had these, you know, to say, no matter how far away you make this, these are never parallel lines, and so there's always an angle that it's coming in at, and there's a difference between the two angles. I mean, yes, on paper this is obviously going to look this way, but if you go billions and billions and billions, then they're almost parallel, but they're not really almost parallel. And regardless, let's understand the shape of this lens. This lens is the exact opposite of a traditional lens, a gravity lens, right? I mean, a traditional lens bends the light a lot at the edges where the slope is, so the edge light gets bent a lot, and the light that goes through the middle doesn't get bent at all, and it gets bent a little bit here and a little bit more and a little bit more. So the bending gets stronger as you go out to the edges. Now, with gravity, it's exactly the opposite. The strong bending is here, near the planet, and the weak bending is out here. So, obviously, this image is supposed to be focused on you over here. So, where you need the more bending, because you have to get it from where it was going. So just these lines that aren't really parallel, and you can find that out by making them go another 500 million light years. You'll find out that they're not really parallel because they'll keep diverging. And so the point is you got to swing this one from all the way over here to here, this huge distance, and this one only this distance. And you're doing it in the wrong places, because this isn't going to bend enough to get here. I mean, this is going to bend it too much this way because the gravity is really strong, and here you have the weak gravity where you have to do a lot of bending. So the lens doesn't even fit the diagram. It doesn't. So what is parallel lines? So what, there can't be any argument that you made the image larger if you use this argument for parallel lines. It can't possibly be parallel because this is much smaller than this lensed image. When you see a lensed image of a galaxy being lensed by another galaxy, one's way behind here, the size of this lensed object is much bigger than the original object. Much bigger. It can't possibly be parallel lines if it's creating something much bigger. And then you were reducing it again to a little tiny image inside of our eyeball. But it's a giant image here. This image in the lens is hundreds of thousands of light years across. It's huge. I don't think there's anything. And like I said, even if they were parallel, even if this image was the same exact size as this actual object, even if this image was exactly the same size, so all these lines were parallel, you're still stuck with the inverse square law as a lens. And it's exactly the opposite of a traditional lens. It lenses more on the middle than on the outside. The closer you are to the middle, the more lensing you get. The closer you get to the edge, the straighter it gets. Exactly the opposite of what you need. So, yeah, fuck you. You haven't answered anything. You arrogant fuck. And you're just so fucking rude about it. So you're talking, okay, your understanding of optics is utter shit. So again, that's not an argument. You haven't evidence of this utter shitness. You haven't done anything. As is your understanding of anything else that's above a third grade level. So again, why should I accept that? Why should I say, okay, yes, that's a perfectly reasonable comment. I should interact with you. Why? Why shouldn't I just say, fuck you, make a real argument and fuck off? And I've already said it. So fuck off. Alright, so then he typed shit on my Amendum channel. Wow, you actually deleted my counter argument. So he says that was a counter argument. This proclamation that somehow parallel lines can fix this, which isn't a counter argument. It means absolutely nothing. It's absolute rubbish. Your counter argument about one of your criticisms. I wasn't even making a point about that. I mean, I was making a point about how the inverse square law isn't a lens. It's not good optics. You actually are a dishonest charlatan. No, you're the dishonest people. I make lots of points about how the evidence is really crappy and weak. How your stupid Wikipedia page is nonsense and gibberish. And you don't make any counter-argument how it's not. You just make claims that you've demonstrated something. You haven't demonstrated anything. It's that you're a rude, petty shit. Again, I don't sense any right that I could go on Professor Lewin's website on his videos and talk shit like this. I have no expectation that that's going to be acceptable. Why do you have the expectation it's acceptable here, fucker? Alright, so then Fragmented Soul chimed in, who, like I said, I've let him comment because he didn't cross the line, but he's crossed it now. Nah, he's just an old drug addict. Again, more nonsense talk, just rubbish. You have no evidence that I was ever a drug addict. Ever. That I was ever drunk or stoned at work at any time, ever. You have no evidence of anything, you fucking cunt. We could try to understand his behavior. Nah, fuck him. No, fuck you. You don't have an argument. You just have ridicule and puke. You're a drunk heckler. You're useless shit. Alright, LOL. It's funny to see your rage over comments. So, there was no rage over comments in my last video. This video is a rage. Just in the sense that I really find it obnoxious that dirty, stinky, smelly trolls say, well, what, you don't like me shitting in your living room? Yeah, I don't. What the fuck is the matter with you? No, what's the matter with you? Life must be hell in that little cellar of yours. Okay, I'm not even going to bother with this, right? What's the point? Okay, fuck you. Won't even bother reading it. Fuck you. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I won't waste anybody's time. Won't waste my time. Won't let them decide any agenda, because they don't have an argument, they don't have evidence, they don't have the balls to figure out what a microphone is and plug it into their computer, and you know, a little more balls to actually have a video camera. They can't make a rational argument, a stand-up, relative, rational, relevant argument. They're just shit talkers who are claiming, you know, that they've earned it. They have some right to just show up and say they know the right answer. They're not going to provide it, but that somehow they have it, and they have the evidence and the proof. You have shit. Alright, so yeah, that's enough. I mean, we've already done the 4,000 lensing videos, so I don't know if I really want to get into the lensing subject in any depth beyond this. Again, you can only point it out over and over again. There's this whole bunch of consequences of saying that gravity bends light. Because there's a whole bunch of places in space that have gravity. And then you have to explain why they're not bending light. Why we can watch suns go behind really heavy gravity and there's no flares, no anything. No lensing at all. You know, this whole this whole idiotic website this guy posted me to, by their theory, frankly, they should be able to see things lensed by Saturn or you know, any of the big gas is planets. Why don't we see it? There won't be an answer to any of those questions. There's never answers to any of the questions I ask, ever. Alright, well, anyway, it's enough of the video. Just a fuck you to assholes who deserve nothing better, nothing more.